Hi, I'm the Yak. And I love to read. And I love to go exploring. That's why I'm here at the library. The library is a great place to learn about everything in Michigan and around the world. Michigan has so many places to explore and cool things to see and do. What a great state for adventures. Well, I'm here to share those adventures with you every week. But before I head on any outdoors adventure, I always start indoors at the library. Now here's a neat book about maple syrup. And here's a cool fact. The best trees for making syrup are the sugar maples. We have lots of those in Michigan, and look at this. Did you know that maple syrup from trees is a lot different than the kind from the grocery store? I'm looking for a special book about Native Americans and maple syrup. Very interesting facts. Here it is. And wow, it says here that the Native Americans discovered this sweet treat from the trees. And did you know that Native Americans drank maple sap? Some believed that this natural food kept them strong and healthy. And here's a cookbook for how to make the best pancakes. You know, this is making me more curious than ever about how to make maple syrup. I have some friends in northern Michigan who make syrup so sweet, I think I'll give them a call. Hello, is this the Concannon family? This is the Yak. I was wondering if I could drop by to help make maple syrup. Okay, see you soon. The Concannons live in the Leelanau Peninsula in the northern part of Michigan. I just need to check out some books. The Concannon said that maple syrup season is almost over, so there's no time to waste. Do you know that Michigan is one of the top maple syrup makers in the country? In fact, in 1997, Michigan ranked 7th. Vermont was number 1. But Quebec, Canada, beat us both. Wow! I arrived at the Concannon farm just in time. The Concannons are members of the Odawa Tribe. They are carrying on the maple syrup tradition. They make maple syrup in a small barn called a sugar shack. A storage tank holds the sap until it's transferred to a wood-fired evaporator. Sap has lots of water in it, so you have to boil it to get the water out. What's left is pure maple syrup. It takes about 10 gallons of sap to make only 1 quart of syrup. Hey, I thought I'd get a chance to try some syrup as soon as I arrived, but Josh said if you want to eat it, you have to help make it. Fair enough. Like I said, maple syrup season was almost over, so there was no time for yakking. Josh brought the right tools, a drill, a hammer, buckets, and some spouts called spiles to stick in the holes so the sap could run out. Drill the hole about 3 feet from the ground with a slight angle upward. Tap the spile into the hole and hang the bucket from the spile. We spent the day drilling holes, tapping in the spiles, and hanging buckets. Maple syrup season happens for only a few weeks each year. You need cold nights with temperatures in the 20s and warmish days with temperatures in the high 40s to low 50s. Some days no sap will flow, and other days a tree may give as much as a quart or even a gallon of sap. Each tap can give 6 to 10 gallons of sap in one season, enough to make about a quart of maple syrup. The next day we went back to collect the sap. The night had been very cold. Josh's big brother, Patrick, parked the truck nearby so we could empty our buckets. Ah yes, remember I read at the library that Native Americans drank maple sap for their health? It made me wonder what sap tasted like before you boiled it into syrup. Well, the next thing I knew, Josh tipped the bucket and took a little drink. Then he offered me one. Sweet, like sugar water. Finally, we collected enough syrup and took it to the sugar shack. We pumped the sap into the storage tank, stoked a wood fire under the evaporator, and drained the sap into the evaporator and prepared to stir. It takes a lot of wood to keep the fire hot. Josh was making sure I earned my share of maple syrup. We kept stoking the fire and stirring and stirring. Finally, enough water boiled out and the sap was now just syrup. It's time for the next step, filtering the hot syrup. Filtering gets rid of twigs and natural mineral deposits called sugar sand. You have to use special filters, of course. The ones we were using were made of woven wool. Finally, the filtered syrup is poured into a finishing tank and is stored until it's poured into jugs and bottles. Phew, our work was done. Josh thanked me for my help and gave me a quart of maple syrup. I couldn't wait to eat some with my friends. In fact, I have a plan. I want to see if my friends can taste the difference between real maple syrup and the store-bought kind. But wait, I have Josh and his family to thank for teaching me about one of the oldest and sweetest American traditions. And now for a real taste test. My friends and I met at the Edison House at Greenfield Village. Of course, you can't have a true syrup taste test without pancakes, so I whipped some up. If I may say so, I am one great pancake maker. Before my friends arrived, I secretly, filled 2 identical bottles with syrup. One with pure maple syrup, and the other with imitation syrup, the kind made from corn and sugarcane. My plan? I gave each tester 2 plates, a red one and a yellow one. I poured the first mystery syrup on the yellow plates and the second mystery syrup on the red plates. Which was which? Only I knew. Testers, grab your forks. Eat the pancake on the red plate. Everyone said the first mystery syrup was delicious. Then everyone ate the pancake on the yellow plate. What did they like best? Can you guess?
Yeah, I think this one's the true one.
I like the yellow one.
The red one. Actually, I like this one better.
I like the yellow better. I think the yellow is the true maple syrup. I like both. So did I.
By a show of hands, 5 testers liked the syrup on the yellow plate best. Only 1 preferred the syrup on the red plate. So then I told them the secret. The real syrup was on the yellow plates.
I knew it.
We all liked both, but real maple syrup has its own unique taste. It's yummy. You can buy maple syrup at the store or farmers markets. Or you can buy maple candy or maple sugar for sprinkling on your cereal. I hope you enjoyed our maple syrup adventure. Making maple syrup was lots of fun. Perhaps you could make some too. We tapped trees, gathered the sap, boiled it into maple syrup, filtered it, and tasted it. For more information, check out our website at www.yakscorner.com and head to your local library for books on Michigan's natural resources. Yep, the library is a great place to read and discover new adventures. Now, if I can just find a great book on camping tips. Here's one on exotic animals and highland ruminants. No, I don't think so. How about over here?